Hey guys, it's Ben here, and today I'm going to be walking through the Oopsie Hack the Box challenge. So I just solved this one, and I think this is probably my favourite CTF I've ever solved. I really enjoyed this one, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's begin. We've got the IP here. I'll quickly copy that across. I've made a Oopsie walkthrough directory. I'm just going to clear this out. I'll get some tabs going. I'm going to make a recon, nmap, and exploits directory. I'm going to start off with a thorough port scan, not thorough, sorry, an initial port scan covering all the ports. I'm going to output that to nmap/initial.txt. I'll let that do its thing, and I will get a walkthrough.txt where I'll just include the important stuff. So IP address there, nice. So the initial nmap scan had completed. We can see it's got SSH and HTTP open. So I'm going to do a bit more of the thorough scan now. There we go. Port 22 and port 80. I'm going to output this to nmap/thorough. There we go. thorough.txt. Once again, almost every time I do this, I forgot to go sudo. I'm sudo now. Nice. Let's actually have a look at this website. So it's 10.129.181.103, and it's this Megacorp Automotive. So this is a very basic website. You can see all these links. You can see in the bottom right hand corner they go nowhere. What about this one here? Yeah, it goes nowhere, just goes to this hashtag directory. So there's not much at first sight. What I can do is go into the recon directory. Just do some recon while we're here. I want to move that across. There we go. I'm going to use whatweb just to find out some information about the web technologies being used in this website. So 181.103. We can see the web server as an Apache web server, and we can tee this to a whatweb.log. So what does this find? So let's just yeah, it's found this admin at megacorp.com. So that's probably indicates what the domain is going to be. So what I can do is I'll need to be sudo. I'll edit my hosts file so we can access this by a domain rather than an IP address. I'll change this one here. It's 181.103. So write that there, and now we should be able to access megacorp.com like so. Perfect. That's all good. So let's have a look at some source code, some of the source code. While I'm looking at the source code, I will start off with some basic directory enumeration, sec lists, discovery, web content, directory list 1.1. I want to change this up because this is not how I like it. There we go. So initial directories, it's going to filter out for 404 status codes, and I'll change this to megacorp.com. So I'll let that do its thing, and then I'm going to have a look at the source code here. So we can see there's obviously a CSS and a themes directory. That's something interesting to look at. Over here I'm just going to go directories, and then we can list some of the ones we can do further enumeration on. So we obviously saw there's this CSS, so there's this CSS themes. We'll get a lot of this from our scan. We won't get all of them. One which we missed from the scan, it's nearly done. There's this CDN/CGI, and then this goes to a login, and then /script.js. So that is definitely something of interest to us. So there's this CDN/CGI /login, and that's done. let's have a look, see what this finds. Has this found anything more interesting? So FUF initial directories. So it's found the themes, it's found images, it's found this JS directory, it's found JS, it's found uploads, and I think we're almost at the same playing field here in terms of the directories we've found. So yeah, let's just go have a look at the flags now. Let's see what we've got so far. So what kind of tool can intercept web traffic? This isn't related to the box, but this is a proxy. What is the path to the directory in the web server that returns a login page? So we found this CDN CGI login, so let's visit this. So megacorp /CDN CGI /login, and we found this login page. And we can see there's a feature to log in as a guest. We don't know the admin credentials yet. We possibly know an admin username or an email address to use, but at the moment, let's just take advantage of the fact we can log in as guest. And here we are. So we're on this guest page, right? And then there's an account. So we can see possibly some details about our account. So it tells us here, look, the guest email is there, our name is guest, and the access ID is this. So there's this guest access ID. And when we visit other pages on this website, for example, uploads, it says this action requires super admin rights. And it is still saying we're logged in as guest. So the web page on the back end must know when we're going between these different web requests, because we're not authenticating as guest each time. It must have some memory of this guest user built into us. So we, out of interest, when I was doing this, sort of realised there's probably some cookies involved. So I looked in the cookies, and we can see there's this role, which is guest cookie, and then there's this user cookie. So I was like, what if I change this to admin? Admin, and I refresh this. You can see it saves as admin. I can go to uploads. I still get this permission error. I don't have super admin rights. So, it still sticks as admin, but I'm assuming this access ID user, this user cookie, also has a value which is unique to the admin account. What you can do is change this user ID up here. There's an ID, and we're currently on ID 2. The logical thing to do is check out what is ID 1. So when you change the ID 1, this changes. It still says you're logged in as guest, and if you look at your cookies, it doesn't change them when you go to this. When you change this ID, it just returns the web page for account as if you were admin, but it does provide an access ID. So we could perhaps take this access ID here, enter it here, and then if we just refresh this and go to perhaps uploads, we now don't get that error. Our cookies are stored, and it basically thinks we are now admin. We've got the role cookie set as admin, and we've got the user cookie set as the access ID of the admin account. So that is good. We can now upload files, so we can sort of test this functionality to see what we can upload. We can see, look, we're on the admin.php page. Perhaps we can upload PHP files. Perhaps we can upload a PHP reverse shell. There are quite a few things we can do from this point. So let's just play around. I've got all my old stuff in there. I don't want to go in there. I want to go in here. Well, before we do that, let's actually go back and create some files just to have a play around and see what we can do. So I'm going to cd into the exploits directory. Nice. Before I go on, let's just catch up to where we were and get the flags, which we got. So what can be modified to get access to the upload page? We found that is the cookies. what is the access ID of the admin user, and we found that it's 34322. So we found that by changing our user ID, performing, I believe it's called IDOR, indirect object reference, insecure direct object reference. It's a type of access control vulnerability. So it's one of your OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. You may have seen it before, but it basically means we've got control over this a parameter which helps identify or controls access control. So we've changed We've changed this ID parameter to the admin ID parameter, and then from that we've gained details about the cookies of admin, and now we're using that to access another page, which is this uploads page. So, okay, we're in this exploits. Let's just do a few. Let's just do test.txt. Let's see if we can upload txt files. Please sub, and there we go. We'll go like that, and then I'll go to Firefox. We can see if we can upload this. So let's find the right directory. We've got this test.txt. Let's upload this. Okay, where is this uploaded? There's no indication of the directory it's been uploaded here. If we go back to our enumeration, we found, look, there's this uploads directory. So perhaps if we just get rid of this, let's get rid of this. Let's go to uploads directory. Let's see if we can visit it. No, there's a forbidden. There's a 403 response code. We cannot access the uploads directory directly. What about if we went to our exact file location of our file? So, for example, test.txt. Please sub. Okay, so we found a way that we can upload files to the web server so they're on the box. What we could do is upload a reverse shell, a PHP reverse shell, as we know PHP is being used, and then use that PHP reverse shell to call back to our Kali box and then get remote access. And that is what I'm going to do. So let's go to revshells.com. Yep, these look all alright, nice. Let's find a PHP reverse shell. I tried generating one with Meterpreter I tried generating a PHP payload with MS Venom and setting up a Meterpreter handler. For some reason it didn't work, so I'm not going to do that. This did work, so I am going to do this. So it may be a little bit trial and error, but let's just try find one which works. Let's just give this one a go. Copy. So now let's go vi revshell.php. Nice. I'm going to have to include some like the PHP, and then there we go. So there we go. So we've got this revshell.php. Let's see if we can upload this. This is configured to have a listener, so we can get a netcat listener on port 44444. We can move that across there. We can move this one across here. And now let's, just because this may take some time, I'm going to try get a setup where we can do this fairly fast. If this doesn't work, this one doesn't work straight away. So let's upload this revshell.php. Upload. It uploads successfully. Now let's try go to uploads revshell.php. And did I include the right IP? I didn't include the right IP. That explains it. Okay, so we can see this one's loading. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to get this script again. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to delete these two lines. I'm going to insert. I'm going to paste the correct one. Now this is the correct ID. I'm going to write as revshell2.php, and now I'm going to quit this. We've got revshell2.php here. We can try this one now. This should work, hopefully. uploads rev shell 2.php. Boom. It looks like we've got a connection. Let's check if we have a reverse shell. We do. Okay. So let's see where we're at in terms of flags. Can we get any more? What directory does that file appear on the server? That's the uploads directory. Okay. So, okay, that's where we've got to. So it says, what is the file that contains the password that is shared with the Robert user? Okay. So we can do some investigation. We can see, look, we're in the uploads directory. We can sort of go up. We can see what the directories are. We can cd into this one, cdn cgi, see if there's anything interesting in here. There's that login directory. Perhaps the login directory will have some credentials. There's a database db.php file. If you look at the Hack the Box challenge, it's sort of got the same length. It ends in a P, so I had a presumption this could be a PHP file. And if you cut out this db.php, we've got some possible credentials we could use. So let's put this down here, and then the credentials we can use are Mega Corp user. As so, I'm going to write this. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I'm going to write this. That's not what I wanted to do either. I wanted to keep it open. I just wanted to write. Okay. Let's get this back open. Nice. Let's go down here. Let's tail this out so I can paste this. And let's copy this. So we've got this Robert user. First of all, before I go any further, I don't really like this shell. This isn't a smart shell. This is a dumb shell. There's, for example, if I wanted to do sudo-l, it's not a TTY shell. There are a few ways you can upgrade to a TTY shell. One of them is Python. So you would typically go Python and then go import TTY, like so, and then go TTY.spawn, I believe. I'm going to have to get this up. I do not remember. TTY Python shell. And let me just find it. That's why. And one more thing, before I do this, let's just check if Python is installed, because Python is not found. What about Python 3? Let's try that. C import pty.spawn bin bash. We're going to spawn a bash shell. Nice. We've got a bash shell and we're running as the user data. We've got some credentials for this Robert user. So let's investigate those. Let's see. Okay, we want to su to change user to the Robert user. We know the password. This is the password. Well, this could be the password. Let's just try. It is. We can see we're now from data to the Robert user. We can do ID to see some of the permissions. And so yeah, these are some of the groups. We notice Robert is also part of this bug tracker group. This is a bit strange. Before we go any further, let's see where we're up to with flags. So, interesting. It's now asking us what executable is run with the option to identify all files owned by the bug tracker group. So this is a very useful command to use in enumeration, and it's the find command. So we can take advantage of this find command. So find, and then I'm going to show where I'm finding from. I'm going to find from the root directory in Linux. The type of file I'm looking for is a file. If it was a directory, you would do D. It's a file I'm looking for. And this find command has many different flags. You could use perm to look for permissions, or I'm going to use the group tag and search for files owned by the bug tracker or group. Okay, and one more thing I should have done there, because I do not like this and I just killed my reverse shell. I'm going to listen. Sorry about that. Why is that not found? Okay, I'm going to upload this again. Upload. Uploads.reverse shell. There we go. I'm quite fussy with Python. I don't like having loads of permission denied. We can avoid that. Python 3 C import pty.spawn bin bash. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to change my permissions to Robert. Like so, sudo to Robert. Nice. What am I doing? That's not what I wanted to do. Change user to Robert, and then put the password there. Nice. With a Robert user now we can look for files from the root directory. The type is files. The group is bug tracker. And to avoid these permission denied errors, I'm going to redirect all these permissions into the dev/null directory. So we should be able to find the right one. And look, we found it. It's user bin /bug tracker. So let's just cd into user bin, and let's just have a look at the permissions of bug tracker. So bug tracker. So we can see bug tracker is owned by root, and it's part of the bug tracker group. We have there's the suid binary set, which is the it basically allows other users to run with the permissions of the owner of the user. So as root owns this binary, as the suid binary is set, we will be able to run the file as root, which is quite powerful. It stands for set owner user ID. That's what the SUID stands for. Before I go any further, once again, let's get back to the flags. So what does suid stand for? I just said that one, set owner user ID. Regardless of which user starts running the bug tracker executable, what's the user privileges it will use to run? So that's the root, because it's a suid binary, it's owned by root. Yeah, that's all we needed to get to. So what is this bug tracker binary? I personally hadn't seen it before, so I think what I did is just executed it. I wanted to see what does this do. So it says provide a bug ID. So I don't know, I could do 123, and I get an error here. So I see the command cat is called, and it tries to cat root /reports/123. This directory is not found. There's no such file or directory. So the user input you supply it is piped, or not piped, appended to the reports. So it's root /reports, and then it adds the user input here, and it tries cats out this file. But this command cat is run with the permissions of root, because this is a suid binary owned by root. So we basically can run any cat commands as root by manipulating the input we give in bug tracker. So for example, what we could do, for example, if we know there's a flag at root.txt, for example, and our user input is like root, it's going to be like this, for example, root reports, and then our user input is here. What we can do, we can go back one directory by doing the 2 dots / this will take us back into the root directory, and then we can search for the root.txt file. Let's try that. So bug tracker. So we're going to go back one directory into the root directory, and then we're going to look for the root.txt file. And we've got the root flag there. Nice. So that is the root flag. That's our final flag of this challenge. Put that down there. Nice, 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 nice. And we also have to find the user flag. We don't usually find the user flag before the root flag, but I'm just going to go into the Robert directory and the user flags there, so we can get the user flag right there. So that is that challenge done. We've got all the flags. I really enjoyed this challenge. I thought it was quite creative. There was quite a few steps involved, but I hope you enjoyed this video.